So me and Austin just watched Killer Klowns from Outer Space, and I guess we have very different opinions on this. But why don't you start off with what you thought initially, or give a summary of what the movie is?
All right, the overall summary is that it's a very old, like high school type thriller. I wouldn't say even thriller, but it's about
Masterpiece.
what it says: Killer Klowns from Outer Space.
Yeah.
Starts off with their two protagonists kind of making out at make-out point, pretty much. Sees something weird. And
Top of the World, I believe it's called.
Yeah,
in the movie.
It's pretty much a make-out point.
It's Top of the World, first of all. Yeah. A true fan would know.
Right. Well, Matt's already hostile because he knows I don't like the movie.
I love this movie. But this movie's awesome.
But so it goes off with, it's a meteorite, and when they're trying to look for the landing zone of this meteor that supposedly hit pretty close to them, all they see is a circus in the middle of the forest, and they don't have any other questions other than that. They go into it.
That's all you need.
Yeah,
it's a circus.
Yeah, and they go into it, and they're just like, I'm beginning to think this isn't a circus because it has like the most cheaply made buttons and popcorn popping and cotton candy, and it is just so stupid. And they're just like, we gotta leave. And of course, there's these really grotesque looking clowns with like 3 necks.
The clowns look cool. I like the way the clowns look.
It was all right. I didn't mind it too much. I mean, they do look like monsters. I just didn't understand that everyone was like looking at them. I was like, oh, look, it's a happy clown with really sharp teeth.
Yeah, it was the 80s.
So they run off. Yeah, they run off. They keep telling everyone. They keep calling up every 911 or anyone who is in some kind of authority to say, hey, there's killer clowns trying to kill us, and they've always brushed it off because they start off with that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, just say someone's trying to murder me.
I mean, they weren't wrong.
This kind of go off of that. They weren't wrong.
There were killer clowns from outer space.
Why would they not take a prank? Like, oh, clowns, really? And hang up. And so back and forth, this kind of goes where it's like, is it true? Is it not true? And then they finally say, oh shit, it's these fuckers are here to kill us. And so by that time, like most likely half the town's already kind of con-candied, and they figure out that they had to find. Well, I guess I'm getting a little ahead of myself. So at one point, the main actress gets abducted.
That's almost near the end.
Yeah, and it's pretty much her name's Debbie, and they're like, oh, we gotta find Debbie, which is the cop who is an ex-boyfriend of Debbie, and a new boyfriend, which is Mike. And they both go to a circus or a carnival right off the pier because I guess
someone get murdered at your place?
No, it's the roofing.
Okay.
They're doing roofing today.
What's the noise? They're killer clowns out there?
Yeah, it is fucking annoying. Somewhat. And so I guess someone didn't notice that there was a circus flying over the forest and landing in I would assume, a high populated area, which is a pier.
Oh, yeah.
Right next to our festival is that.
It was that night?
I mean, whatever. Still, it's a pretty big structure that I'd just be like, oh, what the hell? Oh, I guess there's a circus in town.
In the 80s, everyone's asleep at night, so it's perfect cover.
Yeah, and I guess they figure out that the weakness of these clowns, when they shoot them, they're not really doing much.
Yeah.
They shoot them in their red noses, they explode.
They spin, and then they disappear.
They spin into what would only be the cheapest version of a, what's this, baby, no, it's a one of those ring.
Baby bottle pops?
Yeah, not a baby bottle pop, but like one of those ring pops where you suck on it. Looks like a huge diamond almost. You don't remember those?
A ring pop. Isn't it called ring pops?
Pop? There you go. Yeah. They look like ring pops when I looked at them, and then of course they fight the mega clown or the dinosaur clown, and of course the same thing applies. Just shoot him in the nose, and that was it. And then he popped it. Yeah, he popped it with a badge.
Yeah,
and then it blew
the
up.
big one lifts him up, and Instead of shooting him, he stabs him in the face with the badge. But
sorry,
I don't know. This movie is like pure cheesiness, and I think it's. I mean, it's supposed to be cheesy and dumb. It's not supposed to be like taken seriously. But like
Alexa,
oh, Alexa's attacking again. But like in the very beginning, when the meteor falls, or whatever, and the meteor is the what's it called, the circus, and the hillbilly wakes up and he's like, "My golly, that's Haley's Comet! I want to be rich." And then he says, "There's going to be tacos there. There's going to be tons of people over there. They're going to have tacos and they're going to have hot dogs." And then he says, "I'm going to be rich," and he goes into the forest to find the comet, I guess.
The circus. He goes and he sees a circus.
Yeah, but he thinks he's going to go.
Oh my god, what Tarnation and Bumblebee or whatever.
Yeah, he
has the most folksy catchphrases, and I'm like, this is so over. It's just the act was so over the top. I was just like, this isn't fun.
No, it was perfect. You're wrong.
Well, one of my kind of interesting characters, just for the fact that I'm kind of like, this guy's just such an asshole. But I kind of like it, which was the
Mundy?
old cop.
Yeah, the cop Mundy or whatever.
Curtis.
Uh-huh.
He was just like...
I want to say this real quick. At that one scene where the hillbilly, where his dog gets taken or whatever, and then... Oh, no, it was right after that scene where it's the couple goes in there, and then they start, they find the clowns, and the clowns start chasing them, and the clowns pull out the balloons and start making dogs out of them. And then they actually woof and they track down the teenagers. I thought that was awesome.
I thought that was kind of funny. That was kind of a clever kind of take on it. Because like, why did they shoot us with popcorn? I don't know. And then they get dogs. Like, all right, figure it out. I'm like, oh, all right, that's kind of fun.
The music in this movie I thought was really good too.
What's up?
The music.
It wasn't like
the music was awesome. What are you talking about?
Not really. I mean, it's not that hard to make an atmosphere of a Killer Clown movie. It kind of felt like a Rugrats type theme music to it.
God, the Rugrats is good.
It's not supposed to be horrifying.
To some people, it might be.
Well, their faces looked like the faces of the Rugrats' parents almost.
They kind of do. They're kind of like all wrinkly and double-chinned.
Wrinkly and they have like their necks are so like detailed and it's so gross in its own way. So I'm like, oh, that's a little weird.
Then you were going to talk about the officer.
They talk like the Rugrats too in its own way. They kind of talk like a baby talk too.
Yeah, they do have a weird baby talk thing, especially the small one.
Yeah, and so yeah. But not only that, like it's amazing how many people are like. This guy is a little fucked up, right? These clowns are kind of fucked. You're like, I don't want to go close to them. I was like, nah,
they're jerks to them too.
Clowns with fucking teeth, and then they're
like
terrifying.
The biker scene. Do you remember where he's like, let me try your bike, kid, and the clown's like, no, fuck off. And then he just like destroys his bike, and then he's just gonna hop the horn. He's just like, he's like, he his horn and he stomps on it. And he's like, oops, seems like I messed it up or whatever. And then he jumps away and he jumps back in with boxing gloves. He's like, what are you going to do, knock my block off? And then he punches him and his head explodes off. That was awesome.
Fuck this. But then it's so stupid. It's like
that's like the charm is it's just so like cheesy and on the nose and dumb.
I don't know. I think of like something that's supposed to be cheesy and funny. I think of like Scary Movie trilogy or the franchise of that because it makes fun of so many different plot holes and other horror movies. That's kind of fun for me, as opposed to this movie where it's just, oh, let's do this. Let's make a live action version of cartoon animation, which is just, oh, you knock my block off, and he punches him once, it pops off.
Yeah, that explodes. Yeah.
The gore was really good in this movie because I remember probably the worst one was probably when they're like throwing pies.
And it melts
what are you gonna do with all those pies? And it like turns into a hot fudge sundae, but it melts him in its own right. So it's like his bones like showing. I'm like, oh fuck.
Those two like idiot brothers they're like, look at this Sunday, and the cop's like, that's no Sunday, and then shows his hand, and it's just all like bone melted off. I'm like, oh, well, this is awkward.
Also, though the two like little brothers like fuck the two girl clowns for some reason.
What do you mean? That was their whole plot. They were trying to get girls this entire time.
Oh, you must be Debbie's roommates. I'm like, they're clearly not.
I thought that was a good callback.
And both of their boobs get huge too.
Yeah,
and I'm just like, come on. It's just like, this is too stupid.
No, it's a perfect amount of stupid.
Not only that, it's amazing to me just how like so there's at one point in the movie where Curtis thinks who's the other like gritty cop.
What's his last? Is it Monday or Moonday? What's his last name?
Curtis Moon.
Oh, was it like Moonday?
I'll look. It might be like a whole.
I just finished watching it a second ago, and I remember he's like, "I should read you your rights, clown, but you're in Moondy's jail, and Moondy doesn't give no rights." It's just like, oh, Mooney. Okay, I know there was like a Y. Okay.
EY. Yeah.
He was a good actor, I thought, in this movie.
I mean, again, he was over the top, but I think he knows he has to be over the top on this.
Yeah.
But the one thing I didn't understand was that when, like, everything's, I don't understand.
Everything's perfect. Yeah.
But there's, like, one point where everyone's, like, he thinks that everyone's pranking him because everyone's calling in about clowns are murdering them. Mm-hmm. And he's just like, I ain't going to answer one phone call tonight. Like, everyone's like, how do you fucking know? Could be someone getting murdered or raped by like an actual serial killer. And you're like, nope.
Yeah, he's just like, no one's going to pull a fast one on me.
He's like reading a magazine where everyone's like fucking crying and saying, oh my God. He's like, dude, do your job. Look at that. Is there only 2 police officers in that entire town?
I think there is only 2. It's only him and the ex-boyfriend guy.
Yeah, so I'm like, why do they have 3 phones then? Because I'm pretty sure they can only answer 2 at a time. What's the third one gonna do? It's like this whole. We got 30 minutes. We got to talk to a domestic dispute. So just please don't die in that time period.
I like all the little touches they do in this movie. I think that's what I really like about the movie. Like the clowns attack.
So explain the touches.
Like they attack with popcorn, and when they capture people, they capture them and they turn them into cotton candy. When they suck the blood,
it pretty much kills them. It's not even captured.
No.
When you shoot them with cotton candy, it just kills them right outright. It doesn't really.
Well, it's something. Yeah.
Really do anything other.
It's like a spider thing where they wrap.
When you go in the balloon, you're alive.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow you're gonna be fine if you're in a balloon. But if you get cotton candy, you're fucked. Your skin's already melted off for some reason.
Was it? Oh, I don't remember. I don't remember. But I remember there's a fat clown.
Anyone escaping a cotton candy cocoon, alive.
But one of the fat clowns goes into the spaceship, and he another one of those small touches things. He pulls out one of those like crazy straws, but it's like
I hated that so much.
No, you suck. Like, it's an Insano straw, and he stabs it into him, and this straw's like I don't know how long, like 10 feet long with all the curves and junk.
Yeah, it's like this big almost. It's just like it has like the most. It's like a match car track almost.
Yeah, it's just like fucking dumb it over the top.
Yeah. I didn't like that. I was just like, come on.
Or the
fucking clown bitch you gonna do. I mean, granted, it's a fucking clown movie. So.
Yeah, the dogs, the blow up dogs are a good nice touch they do.
The dog thing was a nice touch. I thought, yeah, that was good.
And then there's the best scene in the whole movie when that girl answers the door, or when the clowns knock on the door and they go like pizza. And then she opens the door and she's like, pizza? I didn't order pizza. And they're like, oh.
She's wearing lingerie. And it's like, oh, we've seen that before.
They pull, like, the theme song starts playing, and the other clown pops out of the pizza box and like, whoa. And then they kill her.
This is a great house.
Yeah. But it's just all these little dumb, cheesy, stupid things that are constantly, I think, keep the movie entertaining and like, it's not like a serious movie. I wouldn't like.
It's not a serious movie. I thought it was going to be like an It type serious movie where it's just like it's like a parody of the clown movie, like Army of Darkness is a parody of Evil Dead. its own right, or just like here's a clown from outer space, just like it is in the book It. But then it goes into like way too much clown shit.
No,
it's just like, all right, I
perfect
understand
amount.
this. But it was too much for me, and I don't like clowns. I think it's that's why I don't like it, because it looks a little too unhinged.
I wish you had picked a different movie. I didn't know you didn't like clowns.
I mean, I'm all right with them. I'm just kind of like, I'm just like, all right, this is gross.
No,
but it was okay. It's a scary movie. It's fun. It's good for its time period, but I wouldn't recommend it as much as you would.
I would. You want to go to the scores, just real quick?
Sure.
Okay. What would you rate it? And then I'm about to scream at you.
You're not. Yeah. All right, 3.
3?
I'm gonna give it a 3.
I was legit. I'm supposed to say 9. I love this movie.
Really?
Yeah.
9.
9.
Okay, explain the 9.
It's just I guess
you kind of did explain it. It's kind of like, what is like the it factor that made it a 9?
The fact that it's just so stupid. The fact that it's not like Freddy Krueger, this hardcore child murderer and stuff like this. It's literally killer clowns from outer space just doing dumb, wacky junk to kill you, and just constantly, like, no scene is like the scene before it. For a killing, it's always weird, dumb killings. He knocks his block off. He cocoons them. He puts them in a ball. They throw acid pies at them. They summon a giant Godzilla clown. Everything's like new and fresh. The shadow puppet. It's not like a Jason movie where he just walks around. Ugh. Next guy. Ugh. Next guy. Ugh. Ugh. Every single thing is like
4 people. I'm a mass murderer, everyone.
Everything is like fresh and still stupid and funny,
I think the directors had a very fun way to kind of kill off people. It's like, okay, we killed a person like this. What's more clown creative we can go with it? It's like, oh, I know. And so, but I also think it's like, oh, well, we'll watch cartoons and see how wacky it can get. Because I mean, that's why it gets a 3, because it's just, when I think of horror movies, I think of like real plot. I think of like a really fun, like, haunting theme, where it's just like, no, it's just like the directors just had a fun time.
they just had
literally. I guarantee they're probably had like circles and like a PowerPoint presentation of like, all right, this is how we would like to kill victim 1, victim 2, and they're like, oh, let's do victim 1 with mud pies. Let's do
acid
victim
pies.
2 with. Yeah, it was the pies. It was the sundaes, or the fudge pies that turned into a sundae.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like, yeah, I wouldn't recommend it for a Halloween movie.
You wouldn't? Okay. So I think that's total score of 6, right?
So 3 and 9, yeah. So it's a 6.
Okay. So 6 technically passing.
Okay. I'm gonna give it a 2.
No, you can't do. I'm gonna do 100. Okay.
0.
So that was us talking about the movie. I really liked it. Austin, not so much, but I still think you should at least give it a try to watch, even if it's not during Halloween or something like that.
I'd say I'd watch it when it's just if you're feeling like watch an old
like some retro
movie.
Stuff.
Yeah, retro stuff. That would be that's a perfect description of it. Yeah.
Okay. So cumulative score 6. Watch it at least. The end. Okay.
Hey, have your own opinions about shit. How
No,
about that?
wrong.